everybody, and welcome back once again to Let's Play Motorsport Manager with the Phoenix Knights Racing team. I have no idea what's going to happen in today's session. I have woken up this morning, I'm going out this afternoon, so I thought I'll try and squeeze a Motorsport Manager session in for you today, get it recorded and uploaded all within the space of 3 hours. So if you see this on Saturday, it means I was successful, but I've got to really crack on and keep the time down. So yeah, but I've woken up this morning with a little bit of a sore head. Went out last night, so could be prone to making 1 or 2 blunders. So you'll have to bear with me. Right, before we press on with today's session, full speed ahead. Couple of things from last time that people noticed, and I completely forgot that I didn't actually tell you about these things during the recording. I made an offhand comment about Sundon getting married. You're like, what? What do you mean? What are you talking about? Yeah, she came to old Potter and asked for advice. Should she or should she not marry the love of her life? Potter said, yeah, go on, why not? Marriage, you've earned it. You're 31, you're driving hard. Maybe marriage is the next springboard to take your game to the next level. Unfortunately for us, her better half is an annoying other half. Reducing the mechanic relationship by 10, which means that we will never get that super overtake mode, which proved to be so extremely useful in qualifying particularly. So that is absolutely gutting. God, why on earth? You can't see what the impact these have on your driver's traits when they crop up, so you don't know what's going to happen, but this is one of the worst scenarios, to be quite honest with you. And to cap things off, she's now got an injured neck. How did she do it? I don't know. There was no crash in the race, so I'm assuming she must have slipped on the podium. Slipped on the champagne. Put her neck out. As you do, you know? As you do. So that was the first thing for the last session to clear up. And the second thing that somebody noticed was the fact there was no music last time. And the reason being is because all of a sudden, past couple of episodes where I've had the music in, there's been some copyright issues, all, just cropped up. Not in the earlier sessions, but just in the recent ones, so I don't know what's happening there. So to save any sort of issues, I cut the music last time, but what I'm trying now is I'm trying to keep the music on low, so that's why you can maybe just be able to hear it in the background. But yeah, I might try and find a happy balance between volume levels and copyright issues, but there you go. Anyway, so that's the things from the last session cleared up. We need to move forward and continue our journey to Sydney, where the weather is looking rather bad, which is good for us, because if there's any sort of interchangeable weather in the race, hopefully we'll be able to pounce with some strategic genius rather than strategic blunder. Okay, so we're going to make a front wing in 5 days' time, which will be fitted to the car. In the meantime, we are improving the reliability of some of the parts that are below 80%, not putting a whole lot of our stuff into that anymore, but just putting some in until we get them all above 80. And yeah, increasing the performance now in earnest of our better parts to keep ourselves moving forward in the development race. We will sort out the sponsors closer to race day. There we go. So the front wing is finished. We're going to fit those parts. We're going to fit that part to Sundin's car, I believe, if I was not mistaken. Or was I mistaken? We might have been mistaken. Were we giving it to Valdez? I think we were. But we were increasing, Sundin's level as well at the same time. But Valdez gets a slightly better deal there to keep the cars as equal as possible. Right, back to improving parts then, because now we have a part on Sergio Valdez's car that is not usable. So we're going to have to completely and utterly flip that. Okay, 79, 75. I think we need to put everything into that. Just something like that. I think that should do us, and yeah, we'll stick with those. So what we're going to do now is I don't think we're going to design any more new parts for the time being. I think this car that we have it now, with the parts that the drivers have, once we get those parts maxed out in terms of their performance, I think we'll still be competitive towards the back end of the season. So for the time being, I'm going to hold off on designing new parts now to try and save some cash. We are losing money per race. Combine that with further parts and we're going to be really skint at the end of the season. So I think we're going to have to now just go into money saving mode. I think we should be alright with the car we've got going forward. So that's that. People may disagree, but I think we should be okay. Right, we've got 3 offers here. We might as well use them. Biggest upfront payment would be nice because I'm not going to be using this bonus. And that is as big as we get. 400,000. God, the sponsorship deals really aren't marvellous today. Really not marvellous at all. We're still waiting for a 3rd sponsor here. Don't know why we're not getting one. Right, let's keep moving forward. Let's keep moving. Let's keep going. Ooh, we have a political vote. And another sponsor deal. Finally, a 3rd deal. Ah, this is not bad. This is not bad. We'll go for that one. It's better than nothing. An upfront payment, and it's potentially I can't speak. I told you, this is going to be an interesting session. Right, team targets. We're on target. Telling us about the political vote. Voting for more tyres. 15 race tyres per weekend. I don't know how many we get now, but that's a lot of tyres. This rule will not benefit cars that are easy on the tyres. Okay, I'm going to vote against it then. Fine. We're easy on, and I voted with 2 votes. I don't know why I didn't specifically wish to vote with 2 votes, but there you go. Obviously Potter feels more strongly than I do in this matter. Okay, so I think we've won this one. Yeah, only just. It's a good job we used 2 votes, isn't it? Okay, so we've rejected that. I think if we're going to be easy on the tyres, we should get the benefit, right? Excellent job. So here we are, race weekend. We are here, Sydney, with all the rain pouring down. Oh, we're so sad. Let's have a look at our car, shall we? Did the reliability go high enough? 69. Ooh. Ooh, and the front wing is crucial in this race. As is the acceleration. Gearbox. 69. Ooh, that's going to be tight. It's going to be tight there for old Valdez. That might not last the entire race unless we go into car conservation mode, which we might be able to do if it's raining. So let's see how it goes. Performance of the cars are creeping up there. Very nicely indeed. Sunday's car looking okay. Okay, so we're going to go for 3rd or above. We're going to go for it again. We're going to try it out. We'll see if we can nab ourselves some nice bonus. It's just the qualifying we need to sort out. So it's round number 9 of 14. It's in Sydney. It looks like a rather long track with high tyre wear and medium fuel burn. So join me in qualifying. Okay, so we've set the car up and it was, as we expected, miserable weather, but it started off dry. Then went into intermediate zone, then into wet zone. So we set our times pretty much on intermediate and wet zones after getting the car set up, but yeah, it's going to be an interesting weekend here. If the weather's anything like practice, there's opportunities for some strategic masterstrokes. Let's just hope that we can pull it off. So let's have a look at qualifying. It's starting out dry, which means we've got to get out of here as quickly as possible and set our time as quickly as possible, because I got a feeling it's more than likely going to rain in this race, or in this qualifying session, which it is. We've got a very, very short window of dry track, which means we've got to go out there ASAP bloody P to make use of that situation. So it's literally straight away the setups are done. Get the best tyres on as quickly as we can and get these guys out. Right, we're going to pause it. We've got to go literally straight away. Sunday not even messing around here. Straight onto the soft tyres for a hot lap whilst it is going to be dry. Valdez also going to follow suit. It's going to rain soon, so we better get out there quick as possible. Here we go. Literally We've got a very short window. It's a long track as well. But hopefully we'll get a nice dry time in, and then this track will be wet for the entire rest of the session, which will mean that we have the best opportunity to set the fastest time here. This could work right in our favour. Look at the brake temperatures. They are soaring as they now begin to come down slightly, not much. Okay, overheated brakes I think is going to be the situation here, but cold tyre temperatures. Overheated brakes for Valdez, but good tyre temperatures. Now Valdez in the last session qualified better than usual, so we'll see how he fares today, as both cars are on their hot laps now, and Valdez has clear air. What about Sundin? Sundin has clear air. The rain is just beginning to come down onto the track now, which is bad news because we are on the softish. We're on the dry tyres. And this could be a stroke of genius, or this could be a mistake. Should we have gone out on inters perhaps and ridden it out on inters during this part of the race? Everybody's on a dry tyre though, so nobody's going out on inters, which means that we should have the advantage because we had most of the first part of the lap done before the rain came down, whereas everybody else is doing their hot lap on an entire damp track. So let's see what happens here. Sundin's going to cross the line and set the fastest time naturally. Valdez is 7/10 slower, but everybody else can't beat that time surely. Not on the dry tyre. No, look at that, Fox, 2.6 seconds. This is game over. This is game over. It's going to be a 1-2 for Phoenix Knights Racing. Getting out of the pits as quickly as possible to take advantages of the dry track for as long as possible has paid dividends here, as nobody is going to get anywhere near our time. The joys of wet weather. We love it. Okay, so we can sit here now. We can just chill out. Sundin getting a ice pack on the neck. Valdez having a bit of a trim to the old hair, to the old locks. With his sunglasses on, admiring himself in the mirror. You can just picture him, can't you? You can just picture him. He's not even worried. He's up into second position on the qualifying. He knows that he's a better racer than a qualifier, and he's got Sundin right in his sights. He can't wait for the race. He can't wait for it. I mean, it's a kind of a wetness curve. This, isn't it? It goes up, gets wetter, then it's on wet weather conditions, and it goes back down to intermediate conditions. That would make for a really good race. What tyres do you start on? Do you start on the dry? Do you start on the inters? When do you do your stops? It would make for a real good strategic mix-up if we could have a similar type of situation as this in the race. There would be absolutely so many different strategies at play. If it's just consistently wet, or if it's dry for the first half and then wet for the second, it just makes it less exciting, because the strategies that you use are pretty much laid out for you. But when it's like this, so many different variables. Anyway, I have completely and utterly sat here gassing and gossiping and expecting to get first and second on the grid. I had it all sewn up in my mind's eye, and some drivers have gone out and actually on the intermediate tyre gone quicker. Oh dear. So I'm sat here fantasising about how we're gonna win this race, and completely did not realise what was going on around me. Oh my god! Oh, that's bad news. That is bad news. We could have done something similar. Eastwood Motorsport, Kruger Motorsport, these cars are worse than us. So we could have gone quicker on intermediate tyres towards the back end of the session. Considerably faster here. 4-5 seconds. This is unbelievable. And that means that we miss out on the qualifying bonus, which is absolutely horrifying. I can't believe it. I'm a little bit peed off there. Weather is starting dry. Is it going to rain in this race? Can we make amends? That doesn't look good to me. That looks like it's going to remain dry. It might rain at the back end of the race, but for the moment it looks dry. This is going horribly wrong. This is going so horribly wrong. We should have had a 1-2 on the grid, and that's been snatched away from us. And now there's no rain that we can see in the race to help us out, which is not very good. Right, what I'm thinking is we can't see beyond lap 7. The forecast was there's going to be rain today. I've got to believe that there's going to be rain after lap 7. Don't know when it's going to come, but I think there's going to be rain. So I think we would benefit from a longer first stint. We've got to stop beyond lap 7. Now our tyre, super soft, last 7 to 9 laps. That's going to be a bit of a push. That is going to be a bit of a push. Getting them to last until lap 7. We have to lengthen the first stint to see if it's going to rain, and we can have a quicker last stint. So we're going to long stop both of our cars. We'll go Sundin till lap 8, I think. A bit more conservative. But Valdez, I think, is going to be a bit more aggressive, and we're going to do him till lap 7. Because by the time it gets to that, you can just about start to see if the weather's going to change anyway. So we'll play it by ear. But this is not exactly what we were hoping for. But the cars ahead of us are slower than us, so I'm confident that we can get past them. So it's not all lost. It's not all lost. The only thing we've lost at the moment is the qualifying bonus and a bit of pride, you know. But Potter wheeling himself into the garage with a red face, thought it was all wrapped up. Kareem Shah, pole position, well done, son. Kanjiro second, Ingledew third, and then we've got Sundin and Valdez qualifying higher than normal, but not as high as they could have done. Murray Fox in 6th, Sabado in 7th, 8th, Stramby, Mozu getting quite high up the rankings. Oh, wait a minute, where's oh, there they are. Oh, the 13th there, Chariot, lovely. And where's the other one? Okay, 16th. They've got some work to do, haven't they just? Anyway. Okay, so 14 laps. 4th and 5th on the grid. We're pushing for the first lap. Some people are on super soft, some people are on soft, some people are on super softs around us. Whether we don't know what's going to happen. This is going to be a good race. I can feel it. I can bloody well feel it. Here we go. Come on, guys! And we're off and racing. A slow start from whoever the hell that is. And look at that. It opens up the door for Valdez to storm his way through into 3rd position as Sundin is up into 4th. We're already moving up the field, which is an absolutely great sign. Long may it continue. Shaw and Ingledew ahead of us. They have the super soft tyre, but we have the better car, I feel. So this is going to be an interesting first stint as we keep an eye so closely on the weather. Valdez racing hard here. He's into 3rd position. He has Sabado right behind him. Ingledew ahead along with Shaw, who will be stopping before we do. And if it rains at all between sort of laps 8 to 10, that will advantage us massively. And look at that. Is that a bit of rain coming? No, it's still cloud and sun. Still cloud and sun. Not exactly what we want to see. The tyre temperatures are going to be very low because of the fact that it is a very cool day here, so we can afford to push the tyres. We're going to turn the engine down just to high And that should do. Still no sign of rain after lap 7. As Valdez is still in 3rd position. Ingledew not able to shake him. But will he be able to pass? We've got Vidal in 15th. Fiore's dropped to 19th. Something has gone amiss for her start. Molly Fox is down in 8th. The championship contenders aren't looking too rosy at the moment. And where's Navarro? Back-to-back winner. He's down in 18th, now 19th. It's all going wrong as Valdez passes. He passes Ingledew, and he's in 2nd place and now has his sights firmly set on the lead driver, who currently is Shah, and he's not pulling away massively. They're all now chilling out with their tyres and their engines. We continue to push as we check the weather. Oh, the rain is coming. The rain is coming round about lap 8 here. The rain is coming, which means that our long stop strategy may pay dividends. May pay dividends, as Valdez now is still gaining on Shah. He doesn't have to push too long, and of course he is going to be coming in earlier for his stop, which means he'll probably switch to intermediate tyres a little bit earlier than he'd like, but that shouldn't be a massive problem. Just going to turn down a little bit now. I think we can still stay high with the engine, but I'm just concerned about his front wing. And we'll say push there as well. Push for both drivers. Sundin's still in 5th. She's struggling to get past Sabado. Valdez setting a purple sector. He is on the charge, is Valdez. He is pushing hard. He's trying his best. He sees 1st place, and he's after it. He is coming. Sundin knows that her strategy is going to work. The engineers over the radio telling her just to be patient. Just to be patient. The rain is coming, and it will be right on your scheduled stop. So there's no need to be panicking here. Right, Valdez crosses the line. He's still got 3.3 laps of fuel, which means he can still push the engine, as can Sundin. No amount of conserving fuel is going to get him an extra lap, so he's just going to have to push, and he's now 0.6 seconds behind Shah. 0.6 seconds, and I've got a feeling that Shah will be powerless to stop the charging Valdez, as Sundin is right all over the back of Sabado. She's been given the good news that the weather is changing in her favour, and it's given her a lift. She's on the charge. And she's passing, we've just cut away as she is side by side here. Side by side with Sabado. Neither driver giving an inch. Neither driver giving an inch. Look at that. Look how close it is. Gotta give Sabado his dues. Molly Fox coming in now. It's far too early. The weather is changing. What is she going on to? Is she going to go on to intermediate tyres? It'd be far too soon to do so. And if she comes out on dry, she's going to have to pit again. Her tyres are a little bit worn. I didn't realise that. She's got to do another 2 laps after this, and their tyres are not looking too good. Don't worry, it's fine. Another driver coming in. Shah's coming in for his stop. Is it going to be too early for him? The weather is changing, but it's not changing just yet. They're going to have to come in for a second stop. Valdez just chilling around the track. There we go. The weather is changing very shortly. It's a little bit earlier than we would have liked, but Valdez will be pitting, and he will be going onto the intermediate tyres, because that is what we need to do. The wing is looking a bit damaged, but he doesn't have to push in the second half of this race, because he will have the benefit of the ideal strategy. Right, this needs to conserve. We need to conserve the tyres, because she has to do one more lap after this. One more. And it's a long lap, and she's going to do it on absolutely shot to bits tyres. We can't double stack them at this moment in time. We've pushed her too hard on the tyres here. As Valdez coming round now, last few corners, she is gonna, oh, she's gonna suffer. She is really gonna suffer doing one more lap here on those tyres. These are absolutely knackered. Absolutely knackered. Oh, God. Is she gonna lose more time double stacking? 5 seconds. She has to do one more lap. She has to do one more lap. She'll have to do it. She has to do it. I mean, the tyres are shot to bits, but I think she'll lose more time if she double stacks, combined with the fact that she'll be coming out on intermediate tyres when the track is dry. So we're going to leave Valdez now out on intermediate tyres. Probably a lap too early, really, but we took the risk with Valdez. Sundin has a better strategy, but her tyres are absolutely screeching out for... The rain is coming, Valdez. The rain is coming. Just be patient. Just be patient. The rain is coming. It's kind of strange because although Sundin's tyres are going to be really suffering in terms of pace, Valdez is on the wrong tyre. So what's the slower option? Being out on worn tyres but the right tyre, or forgetting to miss your pit stop? Yeah. I've done it again. Lordy lum. Yeah. I could punch somebody again. Sorry, Sundin. I'm so sorry. Blame it on the hangover. Blame it on the hangover. Oh, and look at that. Marino has just come right out in front of Valdez, and I got a feeling that that is because Valdez was on the tyre too early, on his stop too early. Oh, this should have been. This should have been. I don't know what to say. I really don't. I think Valdez is going to get the. I think Valdez is going to be pushing for race victory here very shortly. I really do think he is going to be pushing for race victory. But we have absolutely screwed Sundin over. Absolutely screwed her big time. I mean, here she is, trundling around the track. Trundling around the track. As Valdez is up into 5th place. There are still some drivers who aren't pitting. So look at her. She is absolutely screwed, massively screwed. We've got Sabado who's getting past us. We're just conserving for the moment. We will start to push. We will start to push soon. Marino is flying at the moment. Absolutely flying. In fact, it's our tyre temperatures which are too cool at the moment. This is slowing us down. I'm just in a state of absolute horror. Right, let's push this. Let's push this. Big style. Let us push now with Valdez as hard as we can for as long as we can. To hell and high water with the car condition. To hell and high water with fuel burning. This has to be pedal to the metal here. Absolute pedal to the metal. So we're in third position. Sabato and Marino both ahead of us. No longer have to stop. Neither do we. This is a race to the finish. Come on, Valdez. Come on, rescue us. Rescue us. We need rescuing here. We need rescuing. The cars ahead of us have their cars turned down to medium. Valdez is pushing hard. With 3 laps to go. Come on, at least get second place. That would be something. He's right on the back of Sabato now. I think Marino has this race under control. Oh, Sabato's got an issue with his car. Will he be able to last the entire of this race? We shall soon see. But all we can do is put the pressure on him. Put the pressure on him, force him into a mistake. Force him to have to push his car more than he would like to. Come on, Valdez. As there is 2 laps to go, we are just waiting for black smoke to come billowing out of the back of Sabato's car. That's all we can hope for here. Valdez is looking like he's struggling to pass. Come on, come on. Come on, Valdez. You can do it. His tyres have not... Oh, he's going, he's going, he's going! Oh, he's tried, but he's failed miserably. The tyres are going to give up the ghost here. But then again... Sabato's tyres are in a similar state to ours. 1 lap to go. The race for second is well and truly on. But having track position at this moment in time is probably more important. And at the moment, Sabato has that position. Ingledew is catching both of us slightly. Both Sabato's tyres and our tyres are extremely worn. But it looks like Valdez is not going to do it. Sabato has breathing room. He's managing to stay ahead. As we come around the last few corners, and Sabato is going to make it stick, I think. Yep, he crosses the line in second position. Valdez is in third. Sundin is in 15th. Yeah, very good race. Running out of fuel on the last lap. Make that 16th place. Just to rub salt in the wounds. Okay. I knew at the start of the session something was going to go wrong. I just knew it. I just knew. That's why I give you the disclaimer. You know what I mean? That's why I give you the damn disclaimer. I knew mornings, me and morning sessions don't get on very well. I should really not do this in the morning. Okay, Valdez, his pit strategy working not as well as it could have done. I think what happened there was obviously we fueled him to the with only 7 laps of fuel, which meant that we came in a lap too early. Lap 8 was probably the best time to come in terms of the weather change. So these drivers, particularly like Marino, as you can see, he went the 8 laps, which is what's helped him to race victory. Sabado did lap actually very similar to us, which is why we finished in similar positions. But what would have happened to Sundin, who would have been on the right strategy? She was primed to come in on the 8th lap, which was the ideal time, as we've just seen, to come in. Unfortunately, the pit crew weren't ready for her, and she had to do another lap, ran out of fuel, and the rest is history. This is the first time that second time actually, only the second time she's finished off the podium positions, and the first and only time this season that she's finished outside of the points. Not good. Not good. And Sergio Valdez with the fastest lap of the race. 2 bonus points, which was very, very, very good indeed. Well done. Pushing hard, but couldn't quite pass Sabado in the end there. Marino for Esprit. Esprit, if it's not Navarro, it's Marino. This is the 3rd race in a row that Esprit have won. Which means that Sundin is still top of this pile in terms of the Drivers' Championship standings. She is still a lot of points ahead of her nearest rival Molly Fox. Sabado has moved up into 3rd place now, only 1 point behind Molly. Fiore is slipping down as their team seems to be struggling recently. Valdez moves up a position. He's now into 5th with 23 points. And beginning to get a little bit of momentum going, but still looking for his first race victory. And as we can see, both Esprit drivers now just creeping up there. So for the constructors, that puts them into 3rd position, 37 points. They're gaining on Chariot. Are we going to have a new title rival to contend with in the not too distant future? Possibly, possibly. But we are still plenty of points ahead. It's quite frightening, really. If we'd have gotten our act together this season and not had so many strategic blunders, more so than last season, with 2 stopping where we should have 1 stopped. That's 2 races now. We've missed a pit stop, once with Valdez and once with Sundin. All of these melodramas. If we'd have actually had a very good strategic season, this Constructors' Championship could be well and truly wrapped up by now. We are shooting ourselves in the foot. We are doing a Ruiz Motorsport here. And it's painful. It's painful to see. Right. So we're going to move very quickly on to the next race, where hopefully we may be able to make amends. It's back to Canada. We've been here once before, and last time we did come here, it was Valdez who missed his pit stop. This should be the longer circuit, so we'll see what happens. Predicted to be dry for practice and the qualifying. Race is looking cloudy, which means it could be variable. I don't think I'm really interested in wet weather anymore, because it didn't help us then, did it? Join me next time. Can Sundin bounce back? Can the team bounce back? Find out. See you soon.